Shalom, this is Brother Darby from GMS Detroit. I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim and Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. That being said, we'll get into a quick lesson. And this lesson is actually concerning endurance, man. You got to have endurance in this truth, especially if you decide to pick the plow up and decide to, do the work. You're going to have to endure, man. You're going to have to endure, man. You're going to have to endure a lot. So, hey, and nothing good come easy. That's a saying, that we heard coming up. Nothing worth having comes easy, man. So we always must stay mindful of why we do this, why we why and also why the Lord has chosen us to actually do this. So just the fact that the Lord chose you should be, should brighten up your whole day. If anything should come your way, you know what I'm saying? Just the fact that the Lord chose you of all people to try to, help feed the flock. Man, that's amazing right there. That's beautiful in itself. So yeah, we gotta endure. Some adversity might come here and there. Adversity is gonna come, man. Look what all our forefathers went through. What did they do? They went through adversity, man. A lot of them went through adversity. Look what Job went through. You know what I'm saying? And you complaining about some damn a baby mama, or you complaining about uh, the white man at work or something. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? This is baby stuff. So nevertheless, I'm gonna start with this Ecclesiastes 2, start with verse 1, read down a little bit. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart right and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." It says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away." It says that thou mayest be increased in thy last end. It says, "Whatsoever be brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate." It says, "For gold is tried through the fire of acceptable man in the furnace of adversity." So things are gonna come, man. These things are probably here to test you, try you. But what the scripture, not the scripture, but what's the saying of the world? What don't kill you make you stronger, right? So hey, that's how you gotta look at it in this truth. This whatever come my way, I'm equipped. If I'm in this truth, I know the names. If you know Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, hey, that's ammunition for anything that come up. You know what I'm saying? I know the names. What? Okay, well let me start applying. So if you know the names, then you know some scriptures. So you got to start applying those scriptures to the things that you might encounter that in your daily life. Things that come down, you might get changed to a low state. I was just brought down to a low state when come home and my air is off. I woke up and my air was off and my electricity is off for the last 2 days. And imagine trying to sleep last night and it's 90 degrees in your room, neck wet, pillow wet. I was changed to a lower state, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what inspired this lesson. So I prayed on that, and I was delivered from that early, late afternoon. Well, not too late, but late afternoon, around 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock. They came back on, but I needed that to wake me up and make me face reality. That imagine when you go out into the wilderness, when the hour of temptation is barreling down on you, and you had to make your decision, and you out. What's gonna happen? You think you ain't gonna run into adversity? So hey man, this little stuff, this little stuff you go through, and we live in a home still ain't shit. And we still got houses and got jobs to go to. Come on now. So nevertheless, we must always remind ourselves, man, we gotta endure, man. As a good soldier of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. And we're gonna start back at verse 5. It says, it's Ecclesiastes, also known as the Book of Sirach 2. Start back with verse 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity." It says, "Believe in him, and he will help thee order thy way." It says, "Aright and trust in him." It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy." It says, "Look at the generations of old and see how did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear. and was not forsaken, or whom did he ever despise? They call upon him. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. So yeah, you're gonna go through things, but hey, having this truth will give you an edge and an advantage, man. So we're gonna go through things. We're gonna go through things, man. It's nothing, you know, you know, it's nothing I don't think that we can really handle. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we live in um and letting this truth, live out in our life also. You can't know all these scriptures and know all these things and don't apply them in your life. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta apply these things in your life and see how you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be applying these things that you be learning the truth in our life. So let the light lead the way, right? This is the truth, right? Um, and so yeah, Yahweh say he is the truth and the light. So we supposed to, take the teachings and let these teachers lead our way, down this dark path. Let the scriptures say, yea, thee I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, thy rod and thy staff comfort. That rod and that staff, um, is these holy scriptures, is the Bible and the knowledge of these and the knowledge of them. You know what I'm saying? So that knowledge will guide us through the valley of the shadow of death, man. So yeah, I want to go to this other scripture. Um, Also in the book of Sirach, we go to 1 and verse 23. And it reads, it says, a patient man uh, will tear for a time. It says, and afterwards joy shall spring up unto him. So yeah, you're going to go through stuff, but we got to be patient. Jake, you got to be patient, man. This truth will kind of like, you be waiting, the truth. Now you waiting on everybody just to see their judgment. You see these nations still winning over you, Jake. You see the nations, you know what I'm saying? You see Esau winning over you. You see the 2/3 winning over you. And you sit up, you want revenge. You want, you know what I'm saying? Just us seeing Jake get judged on the daily ain't enough for us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We want more. We want more. We want to see these nations get it. We want to see Esau get it, Ishmael get it, especially the nations as we around. You know what I'm saying? Because we around Ishmael and especially in Detroit, you around Ishmael and Esau and Edom. You know what I'm saying? More than the other nation, more than the other ones. So you really, you encounter, especially you encounter Ishmael a lot. And the history and whatnot. You've been listening to the history. Their forefather Ishmael and everything. So you be wanting, you want your revenge, what's promised through the scriptures to us, and you be wanting that to happen, but you got to be patient, man. You can't rush it, man. It says a patient man will tear for a time, but afterwards, joy shall spring up onto him. Yeah, the joy will spring onto us when we get our victory, man. But meanwhile, we don't know when that come. We look for the signs and the tokens that lead us that say that we are almost there. But no time. We don't know the time. The scripture say that no one's know the time but the Father. So nevertheless, with that being said, we got to continue on with life. That's why in GMS they say, we got to have a balance. We got to have something else that we do. We can't just sit up, and do this 24 hours. It may seem intriguing or like, oh, that brother really got it going on, but you don't want to bug yourself out. You know what I'm saying? You be bugged out waiting on Esau, Edom to get his revenge, for you to get your lick back. And you know what I'm saying? You just waiting and waiting and waiting. So you can't try to put a rush job on the Lord. You can't do that, man. We can't do that, man. We all feel that way. We all want the nations to feel it. We want the 2/3 to die. We all, you know what I'm saying? We want Edom to. We want everybody get. We want to get our payback. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta exercise patience. You know what I'm saying? Another scripture I want to bring out too is this is a good one. This is just back that up. Revelations 13 and 10. It says, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patient and the faith of the saints. It said, here's the patient and the faith of the saints. So we want this to happen. We want to we want to get Edom to get his payback, get paid back for what he did, and all the other nations and stuff. And but this is going to come. We're gonna have to wait. We got to be patient waiting on it. Jake, we gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You got to be patient waiting on it, man. It says, here's the patient and the faith of the saints. We have faith this is gonna do. Then we need patience too, also. So you know. We gotta wait on the said measures to be fulfilled, as the scriptures say. But we got all the signs saying that they are there. We see the brink of Jacob's trouble. We see the beginning of Jacob's trouble. We see the Euphrates River dried up. We see these things, you know what I'm saying, and we know we there. But just be patient, Jake. Just be patient. Because you don't want to get bugged out and find yourself, you done fell out. You know what I'm saying? Because Satan will try to sift you in any type of way he can. He's on a mission to sift you, Jake. And he'll use that adversity that you go through daily. You have daily adversity. He'll use that, to sift you, get you right, try to, make you thinking you need to be back in the world or you missing something in this damn world. Hey, no, you be thinking you missing the Chris Brown concert, the Chris Brown and Usher concert. Hey, it's Satan to get you, man. You know what I'm saying? Be patient, man. Be patient, be patient, be patient. And endure, Jake. We got a lot to our advantage right now. First of all, we got the most thing to our advantage is this truth. And the names, we have the name Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. We have the name. Hey, man. Well, we just gotta sit back and endure, man. We'll be all right, man. And when we have this faith in this truth, nothing can fail. We'll be all right, man. And then if you really, really a true man of the Lord, you stored up treasures in heaven, with your conduct, things you have done, things you have done within the ministry, the teaching, your teaching and whatnot. You've been trying to, so-called, you've been doing the work and whatnot. So, okay, you've been contributing to this truth. And, you've been storing up your treasures in heaven, store your treasures up in heaven. So when we are in the wilderness, so something happened and we end up in the wilderness, then we could, call down for those, we could cash up some of those treasures in. That's what we work on. That's what we work on right now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to endure. You got to endure, but always keep in mind to let me, store some treasures in heaven. Let me do this. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Because, we're going to need that spiritual manna. We're going to need all that help we can get. You know what I'm saying? When we out there, we're going to need all the help we can get from the Most High. And you got to be in line with them. We can't be half-stepping in at one way, 1 foot in the world, 1 foot out, and thinking the Lord going to help you, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be obedient. That's why obedience is a must. And that's why, obedience and order, I don't know about any other camp, but I don't know GMS, it's about obedience and order. You know what I'm saying? You will get, somebody will check you about the order. You will get put in your place. Not saying it in a bad way or nothing, but you will get put in your place if you step out of order, and which that, and you should, not only look for that, you should commend that because you already know this is a serious work. You know what I'm saying? And you see, if you are been in the scripts and a lot of things took place where order disobeying order messed a lot of things up. So that's why we try to practice and have good order, and conduct, amongst in the brethren in this truth here at GMS and whatnot. Order is a must. It is a must. So next script I was gonna bring out is like I said, I brought this Rev 13 out, just 13 to 10 out, because we want them to get the A, man. We want them to get their revenge. They gonna go into captivity. They gonna be killed with the sword. We gonna get our payback. But we just don't dwell on it, man. Jake, find a little something to do. You know what I'm saying? Go, go shoot a game of horseshoes with your uncle or some shit. Go do something. You just can't, things gonna happen. We can look at the day's events and you can see that we are on a good course. And so I want to bring out this Acts. And this will probably be the last scripture I bring out, Acts and 14, verse 22. It reads, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in faith, that and that we must through much tribulation enter to the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. Hey, it ain't say through a little or through nothing. It said through much tribulation. Um, um, Through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom um, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it didn't say a little. He said through much tribulation. So when we go through these things, these events, we go through these setbacks, or we go through these little challenges that come up in life. Hey man, we just got to endure, because we know what's at hand and it's truth. We know what we do this thing for, do what we do it for, and who we do it for, man. And like I said when I started off, if we if you was chosen to do this, right there, and when you hit manifesting to me, I mean when you actually ponder on that, like it was actually chosen. You know what I'm saying? That should bring a light to you, and give you a boost of energy and faith, and just to continue to endure. Like, I was chosen to do this. The Lord messing with me like that. He chose me out of all these people. Me. Oh man, I feel special. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to it, man. What I'm doing, I'm tripping, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping. Let me get, Satan, you almost had me. Let me get, you know what I'm saying? Get behind me, Satan. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we always got to endure, Jake. You got to endure. Adversity is going to come, and tribulation is going to come. But we're going to endure, man, because we know what's at hand. So with that being said, I say all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Karkadash, double honors to the elders, apostle GMS who rule well, shalom to the whole elect.